How Conan Changed Late Night Forever. Everything you want to know about. Conan O'Brien, American television host and comedian. Born the 18th of April, 1963, age 62 years. Brookline, Massachusetts, United States. Spouse, Liza Powell O'Brien, EM 2002. Children, Neve O'Brien, Beckett O'Brien. Parents, Thomas Francis O'Brien, Ruth Reardon. Siblings, Luke O'Brien, Neil O'Brien, Kate B. O'Brien, Justin O'Brien, Jane O'Brien. Conan O'Brien net worth, $200 million. Early life. Conan Christopher O'Brien was born on April 18, 1963, in Brookline, Massachusetts. His father is a physician and professor of medicine at Harvard Medical School, and his mother is a retired attorney and former partner at Boston firm Ropes Gray. He has 3 brothers and 2 sisters. O'Brien attended Brookline High School, graduating in 1981 as valedictorian. He continued his education at Harvard University, where he studied history and literature, and wrote for the humor magazine, The Harvard Lampoon, graduating in 1985. Personal life. O'Brien met Elizabeth Ann Liza Powell in 2000. At the time, she worked as a senior copywriter at Foot Cone Belding. She appeared in a skit involving the firm on his show, Late Night with Conan O'Brien. They dated for almost 18 months before tying the knot in Seattle in 2002. Together, they have 2 children. Daughter Neve, born 2003, and son Beckett, born 2005. Career. Early writing jobs in Saturday Night Live, 1985, 1991. After graduating from Harvard, O'Brien moved to Los Angeles to join the writing staff of HBO's sketch comedy series, Not Necessarily the News, where he worked for 2 seasons. Around this time, he started taking improvisation classes with Cynthia Seghetti and the Groundlings. His next job as a writer was on the short-lived The Wilton North Report. In January 1988, Saturday Night Live, SNL executive producer Lorne Michaels hired O'Brien as a writer. During his 3 years on SNL, he wrote such recurring sketches as Mr. Short-Term Memory and The Girl Watchers. The latter was first performed by Tom Hanks and John Lovitz. While on a writer's strike from Saturday Night Live, following the 1987-88 season, O'Brien put on an improvisational comedy review in Chicago with fellow SNL writers Bob Odenkirk and Robert Smigel called Happy Happy Good Show. While living in Chicago, O'Brien briefly shared an apartment with Jeff Garlin near Wrigley Field. In 1989, O'Brien and his fellow SNL writers received an Emmy Award for outstanding writing for a variety series. O'Brien, like many SNL writers, occasionally appeared as an extra in sketches. His most notable appearance was as a doorman in a sketch in which Tom Hanks was inducted into the SNL Five-Timers Club for hosting his 5th episode in 1990. O'Brien and Robert Smigel wrote the television pilot for Look Well, starring Adam West, which aired on NBC in 1991. Even with support from NBC President Brandon Tartikoff, the pilot never went to series. Despite the negative reviews, it became a cult hit. It was later screened at the Other Network, a festival of unaired TV pilots produced by Uncabaret. It featured an extended interview with O'Brien and was rerun in 2002 on the Trio Network. In 1991, after the failure of his sitcom, O'Brien also had an engagement to be married fall through, and he quit Saturday Night Live, citing burnout. "I told Lorne Michaels I couldn't come back to work, and I just needed to do something else," O'Brien recalled. "I had no plan whatsoever. I was literally in this big transition phase in my life where I decided I'll just walk around in New York City and an idea will come to me." 161. O'Brien would later return to the show as host in 2001 and in a 2022 cameo appearance.